Hello, hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection is on the air. We're on the air for the next half hour. I'm Kenny Gallagher along with Jerry Burrow. And Jerry, we took last week off, but we couldn't take this week off because there's too much to talk about. The UMD Bulldogs, national champions again, back to back, third time.
It's amazing. I mean, last year was a shocker with all those freshmen, and that sometimes it's the hardest job as a coach after you win a national champ to get these kids to get into the, you're rolling down the teams again, but it's so hard.
Well, you were at the game in Buffalo?
Yes, I was at
You were at all the games in Buffalo?
Yes.
And we'll get to that. But real quick, I want to quote Matt Wellens, who covers the UMD Bulldogs for the News Tribune. And he writes, for 7 months, through 41 games, week in and week out, Minnesota Duluth coach Scott Sandlin has been harping on his team about putting together a complete 60-minute performance. Well, was that what you were looking for Saturday, Mr. Sandlin? Sandlin said, you're damn right it was, with a big smile and grin outside the locker room, following the dismantling of University of Massachusetts 3-0 in the national championship game. Total domination, Jerry.
Right. The first 5 or 6 minutes, it was amazing. I thought, holy cows, UMD looking good. Can they keep this up?
The drop of the puck.
Yeah.
Justin Richards and the boys skate down, and they had a scoring chance right off the start.
Right. Justin Richards, wow. What a Frozen Four did he have. Scoring goals, getting face-offs. I don't know. The kid's amazing this year. How he has improved from the first year. I think he's got a lot of his dad's blood.
Now let's talk about his dad. His dad is a Minnesotan, former Minnesota North Stars, or Minnesota Wild head hockey coach, Todd Richards.
Right. Then he coached over at Columbus, and then he was an assistant down in Tampa.
Where he is still at.
Yeah.
You're going to learn a lot from your dad when your dad's involved in the NHL. I'm sure Justin was around the rink constantly, but certainly an integral part of this Bulldog hockey team all season long. And he scored a goal, actually 2 goals in that Providence game, and then in the championship game he had an assist. But what a game it was!
But it wasn't so much the scoring he did; it was what he was doing on penalty kills, he was doing on face-offs.
Winning face-offs.
I mean, look at on Saturday night, 22 face-offs, he won 15. That's amazing.
Of the 22 he took, yeah.
In the pros, they'll buy you right in, and if you can get like 3 extra, get 60%. But this kid is going against one of the better teams in college hockey. And then on Thursday, the semifinal game, he got 16 face-offs over 10 for the other team.
Unreal.
Yeah. And Peter Krieger, he got 13 on that Thursday semifinal. He had a great... they had a 5-on-3 Providence on Thursday in the semifinal game. And if these 2 kids didn't get the face-offs, we wouldn't be in the championship game. Because by getting that face-off, they got time to get that puck out of the zone. And when you're 5-on-3, and these are 2 of the best power play teams in the nation, Providence and then Massachusetts in the championship game. So the face-offs won it. And I always ask high school coaches, why don't you practice face-offs more? It's so big in the game nowadays.
I think it's more vital than shots on goals.
Yeah. Well, I believe in throwing pucks at net and getting people to nets, but keep the game simple, but get those face-offs and get control of that puck.
Exactly. That gives you possession, and like we've heard over and over, when you have possession, you're controlling the game, and when you don't have possession, you're chasing the game.
Right.
And that happened, and that really was a complete game. And we're smiling, we're a bit giddy because you go into this game, University of Massachusetts had 31 wins on the season. They really were kind of the talk of hockey, college hockey to some degree. They shared first place with St. Cloud throughout the season. And everyone said this is a team, and they were the team of destiny. They had the Hobie Baker winner Cade.
Makar.
Yep. And were they a team of destiny? No, they were not. And the UMD Bulldogs put an end to that right away. And, hey, the UMD Bulldogs have had some growing pains. Keep in mind, 1984, they lost a championship game in 4 overtimes to Bowling Green. And it took 20-plus years. Well, it took 35 years to get to this championship. But, my goodness, this one here was really something. And the captain, Parker Mackay, scored the game-winning goal. He got the first goal in the game, and that's all they needed. That came at 3:51 of the first period. And, you come out of the first period up 1-0, even though you're all playing the other team, there's still, you still realize that, they can score a goal and tie this game up. You had to wait till 15:48 of the second period, Mikey Anderson. And we'll talk about this goal for a long time. That put the Bulldogs up 2-0. Mikey Anderson got checked out of the zone, and he had to get back up, race towards the net.
Come up the middle.
And got a nice pass from Parker Mackay.
Yep.
And buried it.
There's another kid that had a great series, and he was they call it the most outstanding player of the tournament.
Parker Mackay.
Yeah.
I thought that this was going to be Shep's
I
trophy.
Thought if I was picking a most outstanding, not taking anything away from Parker,
of course
he had a great 2 games there.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a
Shep,
he was a leader.
He shut out the team in the championship.
Right, and only allowed 1 in Providence.
And maybe that was an opportunity to have co-champions, I don't know, or outstanding players, but yeah.
But it's kind of funny, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 freshmen on the team, 8 sophomores on this UMD team. They're pretty young still.
Well, they are. In that defensive core, there's a chance that they could lose Scott Perinovich. He's only a sophomore, but drafted by St. Louis. Will he leave? Well, we'll see. Mikey Anderson.
There's a good chance I think he's gone because
drafted by the Kings.
He's been playing so good at the end of the year.
Dylan Sandberg, a sophomore, drafted by Winnipeg.
Yep.
So, what is the status to them? But Nick Wolf will be a senior next year.
Right.
Matt Anderson, he's a sophomore. He'll be back next year. And Louis Rail, Eden Prairie kid, sophomore, he'll be back. Hunter Shepard has intimated to Coach Sandlin he wants to come back.
Oh, really? He already said that.
He hasn't been drafted, but that doesn't mean...
No, he's a free agent.
Right.
He has a better chance of making it by a free agent. So he can go to a team that needs goaltending.
How about up front? Peter Krieger's gone. Of course...
He's a senior, yeah.
Yeah, of course, Parker Mackay is gone. And who's the other senior on the squad?
Billy Exel.
Billy Exel, thank you.
And then there's Riley Tufte, who was a first-round draft pick of the Dallas Stars, and he's finished his junior year. And usually most pros take their draft picks after the junior because one more year he can go into free agency to any team. So it's going to be funny what Dallas wants to do with this kid. Do they want, because he had a tough time at UMD, but he stuck in there and he played as a team player,
Well, let's talk a little bit about Riley Tufte. Riley Tufte came out of, where is he, Blaine?
Blaine.
And he was was he a prolific goal scorer in high school?
He was like Nick Bukestad out of Blaine, Tufte came right after him.
What are his, he's 6'6", 230. He was big in high school.
Right.
He got to the college level, and local sports guy Howie Hansen predicted 30 goals out of him in his freshman year. Well, that didn't happen. What happened to Riley Tufte?
I think the game caught up a little bit where he has to work on his skating. That's his biggest thing because he does have the shot. If he doesn't get in those open areas, he doesn't have a chance because he has to get an open area so he can make that shot because he does have a great shot.
Now, this isn't a knock against Riley, but his scoring dropped considerably once he got to the college game.
Right.
And here he is a junior, and he still hasn't,
And some scouts think that some of these players should go to juniors one year. Remember, he came right in after high school.
Okay.
And so that could be one of the things, He didn't have a chance to develop after high school. He had to come right into college.
Yeah.
and start doing it right then. And he had that star written all over him, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone was writing about him, a first-round draft pick, you know. That's pretty amazing.
I certainly hope he sticks around. He's a big body.
Yeah.
He's, he's part of he'll be a senior member next year of this team. And we need a guy like him up front, Riley Tufte. I hope he returns. What about Cole Koepke? Granted, he's a freshman, but he's been drafted by the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, I'm almost positive he'll be here at least one more year. Maybe two.
I do
maybe
too.
two.
Let's talk about Cole Koepke in that game against Providence. He had a goal disallowed because of some contact with a goalie. First things first, that's a goal at the Lower Chester rink.
That's a goal everywhere.
Number two, he's crunched between the defenseman and the goalie. Where is he to go? Number three, if there was contact with the goalie, it was so minimal. I don't know how they could reverse that goal.
Yeah.
I don't know how
it has
they
to be
reversed
so obvious to overturn something like that. That's the rule.
His heel was in the paint.
And that wasn't obvious. Plus, they took about 15 minutes.
They've got to change
I don't
that.
know what it's like on TV.
It doesn't change watching it 9 times.
But you won't believe the fans booing when it's taken that long.
That's out of control.
It has to be obvious, they say.
Right.
To overturn it.
Right.
And how can it be obvious if you have to look at it for 15 minutes?
Well, they're slowing it down. They're picking it to pieces. They're looking at it in microseconds. Just look at the play
And here's
make
another
a determination.
Thing. Everyone wants more scoring in hockey to make the fans like scoring.
Yeah.
And by you doing that kind of stuff, you're taking away the fans what they want in the game, and you're taking away what you're preaching, what you want to do with this game.
You know, I hope that the people that look at this don't get the refs together and get the headsets on and say, okay, guys, we're going to take as much time as we need to get this right. Anybody here need a pop or a coffee? We might be here a while. They got to stop this. This is maddening. Look at it, determine it, and just look at it in real speed. Don't slow it down too much because you change your thought on it being slowed down.
Right. 2 minutes max, I think.
Oh, geez.
I think any replay should be 2 minutes max.
Yeah, 60 seconds.
Okay, we'll go 60 seconds.
I'm serious.
60 seconds.
Look at the play and move on.
But that was a goal.
Absolutely was. And
nothing, I mean, I'm not being biased with UMD. It was just I don't care if the other team did the same thing. That's a goal.
It is.
So.
It is.
Let's get this game right.
Yeah. And I'm thinking after that, if they lose this game by a goal, if they lose this game because of this, this is the terrible thing about sports, but fortunately the Bulldogs were able to beat Providence 4-1. They had another controversial moment where the puck was loose, the puck went in the net, but they said the whistle had blown, so.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
What was the final score of that game? 4-1?
4-1 on the Providence game on Thursday. 2 empty net games. But Providence was a very good team. They were a tough team, and they had some big boys on that team too.
You know,
and I mean, UMD.
Yeah.
They just find ways to win games.
That was the perfect game, Jer.
Look at Shep. The last 2 years, from the regions to the Frozen Four, he's 8-0. It's amazing the way he has played in the playoffs.
It really is. The UMD Bulldogs ended the season 29-11-2. They had a .714 winning percentage. They ended the season with an 8-game win streak. They were 7-1 at neutral sites. And, I was watching this Jack Morris Hall of Fame presentation when he went into the Hall of Fame, pitcher Jack Morris. And he said, winning lasts a lifetime.
Right.
And he couldn't be more right. These
players will get together and talk about this the rest of their life.
They sure will. The previous year, 2011. And Jerry, this takes away the sting of 1984 for me.
Yes.
This relieves that agony of 1984.
I heard that on your radio show.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. What are you on, 6:10 a.m.?
Yes.
11-1, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, thank you. But I wanted to talk about more about this Bulldog team. This is kind of be the Bulldog episode of
back to back.
Yeah.
First time since
Yeah.
Denver,
Yeah.
2004 or 5.
There's been a lot of questioning whether or not the president will invite this team to the White House, as they do other national champions for other sports. Have you heard anything?
No, I haven't.
Okay, all right.
But hey, and plus the NCHC has won 4 Frozen Fours in a row too. So that shows you how strong that league is.
Yeah, that's the National Championship Hockey Conference.
There you go. Good. That's a good one.
So Massachusetts, they came into this game. I was scared. I was worried. I thought that they were a juggernaut. That was my image of them. They had the Hobie Baker guy, and they were a team of destiny. And they never were really in the game. I can't think of any time other than a couple of flurries around the UMD net where they had some chances, but I can only think of one chance where Makar, is it Makar?
Yeah, Makar.
Yeah, he skated around the Bulldog net and tried to jam it in. Other than that,
they said they had 2 really good scoring chances. This is what the paper, what they're saying, and UMD had 9. But overall, you can just tell UMD was solid on every end. Goaltending, defense, face-offs, moving the puck out of the zone. Hey, Massachusetts had hard times moving that puck out. UMD kept it on them half boards, sideboards, They were keeping that puck in the zone. Mass was having just a hard time.
Was this a difference between Hockey East and the NCHC? And what I mean is, granted they had 31 wins. I think it was 31 wins on the season.
Right.
UMass. But they were playing Connecticut and teams in the Hockey East and teams that,
right,
were just not that good at teams, with a few exceptions.
I think it just shows you that the NCHC league is one of the best. It's the best league.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
I'm not top to bottom because they're deep. And we got some teams now are coming in, like North Dakota, give them 2-3 years. They got some recruits. They're getting 7, they might have 7 number 1 draft picks coming to their school. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
UMass was 31-10-0. 31-10.
Yeah, one of the better records.
Yeah.
In college hockey.
Yeah. But again, I wanted to real quickly, the Bulldogs, they weren't running away with the game. It was 2-0 after 2, and we waited until 17 minutes of the third period for Jackson Cates to get a goal that, I don't know how that thing squeezed through the goaltender, but that put us up 3-0, and that really was the dagger. But up until that point, it was still, I don't want to say a nail-biter, but there was still some uncertainty. But, boy, they controlled that game from start to finish. Not so much on the scoreboard, as far as running away with it,
but they could have scored 5 goals. That goalie for Mass made some good saves.
Sure.
And he kept them in the game.
Final UMD 3, University of Massachusetts 0, national championship for the Bulldogs, back-to-back champions. The 3rd national championship, 2011, 2018, now 2019.
3 in 1 decade. That's pretty good.
Coach Scott Sandlin, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Coach,
I think, and NHL?
Well, not for the Wild. We learned that the Wild owner, Nagley, or not Nagley, the owner of the
Leopold.
Wild, Leopold, said that Brudeau, yeah, will be back.
Okay.
And boy, aren't we excited about that? But
that was the conference today? No.
I heard it 2 days ago.
Oh, they had a big news conference today at 1 o'clock.
That was the mayor and
Yeah.
Leopold. I don't know.
Was it for an outside game? I don't know. I was trying to think, why would they have a big news conference with the...
Oh, I didn't hear.
They're doing something with St. Paul and Wild.
You got your phone there? Do you have a computer on that thing? But again, I wanted to mention Scott Sandlin. This was his 19th season. Next year will be 20 seasons head coach for the Bulldogs for Scott Sandlin. I wonder if he's got anything special planned.
Isn't it amazing? It doesn't seem like it. It seemed like Surge was just here yesterday.
20 years, Sandlin.
It's already been, it's amazing.
Well, next season. Yeah.
I want to tell God, give me another 100 years. I want to watch more hockey.
Scotty Sandlin, former NHL hockey player out of Hibbing, Minnesota, played for the Kings. Who are some other teams? He played for the North Stars. He was on the roster.
He was, huh?
Yeah. Played college. Did he play at North Dakota?
Yes.
Yeah, played at North Dakota. and of course was an assistant there under Blaze,
Right.
and won a national championship with North Dakota as an assistant.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, pretty cool.
You know, I've talked to different people about what makes Scott Sandlin so special, and I guess the thing that I hear the most is that he gets players that fill roles. He gets players that fit into certain spots. He doesn't go out and get the best player, the high-scoring player. He gets players that are going to fill in, buy in, pay attention, listen to what he wants, and apparently he's got that.
I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I remember about 10 years ago, he walked into I got this from a source of mine, that he walked into the UMD office and wanted a contract extension. And they told him not at this time. And all of a sudden, that's when he started getting a lot of these Northland players. And it seemed like the teams, they had a little Northland, Twin City players, and then a few Canadians. And I tell you, like you're saying, he got these players to play as a team. There's other teams out there, they might have better skilled players, but they don't play as a team. And when you get individual players, you're going to have problems. And Scotty's found a way to get this as a team players the last 10 years.
15 of these players on this roster against Massachusetts, 15 are from Minnesota.
Just shows you Minnesota hockey's good. And
And,
remember, all year long, basically, UMD, St. Cloud State, and Minnesota State, Mankato, were all in the top 5
Yeah,
almost all year
Yeah.
long. And each one of them have about 15 Minnesota kids. So Minnesota hockey, people knock it, oh, no. It's good.
and this is good for the future of hockey, not just Minnesota, but Duluth, really, because, these young kids that watch this Bulldog team, they're going to want to be future Bulldogs. So
Right. It helps recruiting.
It does. And I think Duluth hockey will be healthy in the years to come. One of the things that, there's so much to try to cover here and get into this, but these scratches, Hunter Lielig, Kobe Bender, Jared Hilderman, Jake Rosenbaum, and then the goaltender Ben Pat. But how much do these guys figure in the future of the Bulldogs, this
Right.
Lielig, Bender, Hilderman, and Rosenbaum?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends on how good they're developing.
What about recruits? Who does Scott have coming in? Who are some new players? Anybody that you can think of that are new recruits for the Bulldogs?
You know what? I can't even think right now who's
Yeah.
coming in.
All right.
But they got some the Hermantown defenseman, Goltz is coming in.
Okay.
They have Biondi, one of the better forwards.
Really? Yeah.
One of the better forwards.
Yeah.
His dad played for UMD.
Sure.
And he's coming in.
Yeah.
They almost had Ryder.
Now, will he be here next season, or is he going to play some junior hockey?
I think he's only a senior next year.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
he might go to the development team for a year, or
Yeah.
down to juniors for a year.
Yeah.
That's possible. But, another thing, I'm just talking about Northland hockey. Ryder Donovan signed with Wisconsin to play there. Well, Wisconsin signed his brother, Shea, who was playing in the North American Hockey League out in Pennsylvania.
Shea Dow?
Donovan.
Oh, Shea Donovan.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was a defenseman.
Yeah.
So
Who was he?
he was Ryder's brother.
Did he play at East?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Missed that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
He played at East. He's
All right.
about 3 years older than Ryder.
Okay.
So, hey, good for him.
Yeah. Well, Ryder was Mr. Hockey finalist.
Yeah.
What about his brother? Was his brother as skilled?
No, he's not as skilled, but he's solid D.
Okay.
Stay back D.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a big pincher. So, and you need that too.
Yeah. UMD Bulldogs, national champions, third time since 2011, and of course back-to-back champions. They won it last year, defeating Notre Dame, and this year they had to beat the University of Massachusetts, and they did it in a shutout fashion, 3-0, and completely dominated that championship
Right.
game.
It was great. And a lot of UMD fans were out in Buffalo.
I was going to ask you
a lot
about
of ex-players.
Yeah.
I mean, So I saw Derek Plant brought his kids.
Yeah, the News Tribune covered that. Even the ESPN broadcast crew talked a little bit about it. But how was it attended? How was overall attendance?
That's one of the worst ever. The stadium holds about 19,000, about the Wild, same size.
Sure.
And they only were putting in. They said 13,000, like 500 each game.
Yeah.
So that's almost 6,000.
Well, was attendance 13,000 or?
I think on Thursday. I think on Saturday it was, but
Yeah.
on Thursday I don't think it was.
Well, that's too bad. There was some discussion about
Right.
that on Facebook and stuff. What do they do to correct that? How
There's
about
a
like
lot
in
of
Tampa? Was Tampa well attended?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Here's other hockey news in college. You remember Weston Machad that played for Cloquet High School, the Machad boys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he played at Colorado College
Yes.
in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
And he's a senior this year. But the NCAA has a rule, if you're a graduate student, you can transfer to any school and not stay out and play another year. You had another year of eligibility.
Is he leaving Colorado?
Yeah. Guess where he's going?
UMD.
No.
Oh.
North Dakota.
Oh,
But you think about this.
is that exciting?
Well, here's what's exciting. When they play Colorado College, you think someone's going to hit them?
Yeah, probably.
That is just weird to me how one year,
That's rare in college hockey.
Yeah, you don't see it.
No, you really don't. But all
We'll
right.
see what happens with that.
Jerry, final thoughts here on this season?
Well, congratulations to UMD again, back to back, Minnesota Duluth, and hey, let's see if we can go 1, 2, 3 times in a row.
There's a possibility, this team, if we can keep some of these key players,
Right.
if we don't lose more than one guy on defense.
And Shepard stays, we got a very good chance.
Wow, wouldn't that be something? Well, we want to thank the staff at PACT-TV, where this program is produced. You can find us on the internet. We have a Facebook page. Find us and like us on Facebook. We have a YouTube channel. We have the Minnesota Hockey Connection website that Jerry handles. And Jerry, will we be back again, or is this it for this season?
We'll talk about. We might have one more show talk about the National Hockey League playoffs.
All right.
We'll see. Okay. And one more thing. Thoughts and prayers go out to Brendan Flaherty. He decided to resign as coach. Finally resigned fully from Duluth Marshall, and because of his health, he just can't be 100%. But we're still wishing him a fast recovery. He had that cancer and that. But hey, Brendan did a lot for hockey in this Northland, and good luck with him and his family.
Brendan, we're certainly thinking of you. We certainly are. And with that, we'll be back here next week to drop the puck. We'll see you then.
Okay.
Hockey town, going down to hockey town, whoa, whoa. Hockey town.